All right. Thanks for your patience getting set up. We're going live and it's going to start now. Hey, everybody. Meteorologist Hutch Johnson joining you. Blizzard warning, a road update. We have numerous roads closed out there. Terrible travel conditions. This storm is winding out of parts of eastern North Dakota now, and it's going to impact the rest of the region. How much snow and where can we add to the totals we already have? And this is open forum for you as well. You can bring your questions. I'll bring the best answers that I can. We're going to talk forecast snow amounts into tomorrow, where things are going to get tough. A big travel day tomorrow as we get ready for the Thanksgiving Day holiday. And this system will impact big time airports, particularly Minneapolis. Let's talk a little bit more about what's going on here in your forecast coming up right now. But first, a message from my sponsors. I could not do this without them. Thank you so much to Robert Gibbons Sons. And you know what? It's time to get your furnace cleaned and checked. They have a special offer, only $129 for a 25-point inspection. It's been getting cold and it's only going to get colder. Get her checked out today. Please call them. Please let them know that Hutch Johnson sent you from Hutch's Weather. And let's talk all about it right now. First, let's start with a look at what's going on with our area radar. Now, we're going to start with a look at the forecast. Now, this forecast here is rolling through, but we'll go ahead and pause it. Your storm system is exiting Fargo now, and by the time we get through the 6 o'clock hour, I think most of it will be out of here. Rain, it's been raining heavy in the Twin Cities. It's now starting to transition over to snow. That trend is expected to continue as well. Notice as we zoom in closely here, what's going to happen. We're going to have a more northerly wind coming across the big lake. So the south shore of Lake Superior gets dumped on. And I mean dumped on. Amy, good to have you on board. Thank you so very much. It's been a very busy day. I hope you're staying put. Big time headlines. Blizzard warning in parts of South Dakota and west central Minnesota continues. Winter storm warning. Southeast North Dakota, parts of South Dakota, and all the way through Minnesota continues. See this heavy band and watch it flow as we go through the evening tonight. By the time we get to about 9 to 10 o'clock, look where this thing is taking aim on. It's moving right into Blaine. It's moving right into the I-35 corridor and Ashland and up here by the good old Apostle Islands. Snow will still be heavy at times behind it from St. Cloud to the Brainerd Lakes area. Little Falls, hi, we've been talking about you. Look at this big chunk of snow coming through your kitchen as we go through the next few hours. Big time snow is going to accumulate there. This system, by the time we get to 10 o'clock tonight, is mainly pushing into northern parts of Wisconsin, but heavy snow potential continuing through the Twin Cities as we go through. Now, check this out. Those gusty winds have been ridiculous today, hitting 60 plus miles per hour in parts of western South Dakota, and in our area 40 to 50 mile per hour gusts. Let's get you through the overnight. Notice the snow showers continue into the morning hours, but 5 a.m. on big travel day, gusty north winds. Cleanup time in Minneapolis. It's still snowing and blowing out there, but the decrease will move it out into parts of the UP of Michigan and beyond as we go through our Wednesday. Improving conditions for our entire area as we go through. Right now, conditions. Let's start temperatures. Here we go. We're looking at some cold pink air here, and that ain't good. As we put the timeline on here for you, could see 5 o'clock in the evening, 25 to 30 degrees across our area. Steady to falling temperatures right now. Holding on to 43 in the southern part of the Twin Cities. Are you kidding me? That's rain temperatures. But look at St. Cloud. Woo! Snow temperatures. Let's go over to Montana. Oh no, Montana. It's in the teens. Glasgow, 16 degrees. 16 degrees for you in Plentywood. And look at that. Way up here north of Malta. Right there on the international border. There's single digits out there, folks, and we're talking sub-zero temperatures will be on their way in. Now let's talk about snowfall forecast the next 24 hours. From now at 6 o'clock to tomorrow at 6 o'clock, I've been working hard on preparing the forecast, looking over models, doing calculations, eating a sandwich here and there, and now here's what we got. As we go through the rest of the evening, we're talking about 2 to 6 inches that will be exiting this area, moving right across the state from well, basically west to east here as we go through. Hi, Gary from Fergus Falls. Todd, good to have you on as well. Coming back from Oklahoma to Roseau, and you're going to, well, by the time you get home, Roseau County, not too bad. But it's that track in between where we got some difficulties. Now, notice this. As we wrap the big, heavy band of snow, we're going to see an area with 1 to 3 inches of snow anticipated to continue into the overnight hours. And a trace in northern parts of Beltrami County over here, 0 to 1 inches. So not a lot of snow up north for you folks in Roseau County, Gary, and it does look, Sue says, heavy, wet snowflakes. And I got to tell you what, This is heart attack snow. I went to shovel that slop and it was just plain no fun. Take it easy on your heart, ladies and gentlemen. Clean up a little bit, go get some rest, and then maybe just wait for the wind to end because it's ridiculous out there. Now, as you head over here and you get to the Brainerd Lakes area, we're going to have 4 inches going to be likely in these areas as we go through the overnight hours, with some picking up 8 to 10. Remember, I was saying 10 to a foot. Let me get out your way because this is where things really get haybound. Look at this, Superior, Wisconsin. We're talking 8 to 12 inches of snow there. And as you go farther off to the east into the state of Wisconsin, we're talking big time snow, 1 to 2 feet, thanks to the lake effect snow machine. Warnings are in place out there for blizzard conditions and winter storm conditions. For us, it's out of here by late tonight in the valley. Minnesota, it'll be out of here by morning. You'll see decreasing clouds and decreasing winds. So here's the forecast. I want to get through this first. We'll get to your questions. We'll talk roads. Let's look at this. 20s right now for your start your day temperatures, with wind 35 mile per hour gusts in the morning in the valley and points east, but decreasing to 14 miles per hour. Can you see it? That's where the temperatures are going to be suffering, struggling. They're not going to get too far. 1 above 0 is all we're going to have in Plentywood. I hope you got plenty of wood for your stoves there out in Plentywood, Montana. And how about Poplar, Montana? 7, lucky 7. And that's what it looks like down to the Twin Cities. Temperatures very similar to the FM area. Flying into the Twin Cities, you'll have to check things because this is a system that could impact the area for a while. Check the arrivals and departures at your local airports because there could be some impacts in the early part of the day, especially. And maybe because of tonight late, they'll be playing catch up through tomorrow. So there could be some impacts to air travel. I'm not forecasting that. I'm just saying check before you go. Now, in the afternoon, we don't heat up much. In fact, we'll add 1 degree for you out there just because I'm feeling generous and grateful as we head towards Thanksgiving. 23 for Grand Forks, 26 Fargo, 7 to 17 mile per hour winds as we go through northerly decreasing clouds. The heaviest snow will definitely be exiting way out of the region. And in fact, you don't see snowflakes until you look way over there, and that's off into the northern peninsula or the upper peninsula of Michigan. So temperatures pretty steady, 7-day planner. Here's where we're getting good. Temperatures will be falling on your Thanksgiving night down to 0. For Fargo on Thursday morning, 8 degrees. There will be slick areas tomorrow and some breezy conditions. So please watch out and make sure you check hutchesweather.com for the latest road conditions before you go out and venture for your holiday travels. There's closed roads now. I'm hoping that overnight and in the early hours tomorrow, our crews can get things cleaned up because there's vehicles in the ditches. And once that starts to happen, this thing can escalate quickly, and it can take hours and hours to rescue a lot of folks out of the ditch. 26 and falling on your Thanksgiving night. A chilly day, but happy Thanksgiving to you and yours. Black Friday looks black, cold, sunny, night snow moving into Saturday. Now it looks like our southern counties have a decent chance at more appreciable snow. This could change again, so I'm not going to go off the rockers on this, but it is a highlighted day for you for holiday travelers. Saturday may be tricky in South Dakota, southern parts of North Dakota, and southern Minnesota. Hello from east of fertile, 2 to 3 inches of snow here. That far north, 2 to 3 inches. Eileen, thank you very, very much for sharing your snowfall report. How about you sharing yours? Hey, YouTube, good to have you on board. I don't see any names in the chat yet. Please give me a holler, and I'm going to give you a holler. I'm going to just type in holler because I can do that quickly. All right, now let's take a look at this. Unhot. December-like temperatures, single digits and teens for highs Sunday into Monday, and sub-zero readings in Fargo-Moorhead after the Saturday snow. And then rising temperatures with some south winds overnight. We'll see temperatures rise Monday into Tuesday, but it's not a heat wave, that's for sure. Thank you, Kim, for your support over all these months and years. Appreciate it. Heidi, good to see you. Hola, says Heidi on the old YouTube channel. Thanks a lot today. Been a busy day, and thank you. Thank you on this holiday week of Thanksgiving. I'm giving thanks because 76,000 of you have followed me on Facebook. If you've not done so yet, please do. Now let's talk about what's going on right now. We have bands of heavy snow. Thank you, Kim. I appreciate that. Thank you, Jeremy. 76,000 of you and growing strong, and we ain't stopping yet. Let's talk about the radar and let's talk about the forecast. We just kind of went through the hour-by-hour forecast, but now let's talk about what's happening. Here's that radar. That's not the radar. Where'd it go? It's in my pocket over here. I forgot I put it over there with the candy bars. Okay, Snow reports. If you got them, we'll pass them along to the National Weather Service. We've got 6 inches of snow in Chokio. We got, well, let's see, how about Lemoore? 8 inches of snow in Lemoore. So right here, that North Dakota-South Dakota border. We talked about this last night if you were with me. There was a winter storm watch in the area and then a warning for Minnesota. And it was a hunch I had with those models coming out. That's why this live was great. We went over the models. We went over my thinking. And I said it wouldn't surprise me if that warning was extended to the Minnesota border and included our southeast North Dakota counties. They got added today. This turned into a blizzard warning out there because of the winds. Check out the winds in Sisseton, by the way. This is a wind gust report. 58? Are you kidding me, Peaver? That's not fun. That's not only bad hair, that's bad travel weather out there, and that's why you need to stay home. Let's talk road conditions thanks to my friends at OK Tire. Check this out. Now, you can go to Hutch's Weather no matter where you are, even on the road with your mobile device. Go to hutchesweather.com and push on the OK Tire button up here to get to the road conditions page. This is what you're going to find out when you select what state you want. Let's select, North Dakota, because it's a mess. We got closures out there to update you about. Number 1, I-29 has been closed from Grand Forks, and it goes through North Dakota, but we'll just call it to the North Dakota border. It looks like both directions, but there is kind of a single red line here as you go through Hillsboro, and there are some differences there. So maybe it's only one way that's closed as we go through this particular area. So the I-29 stretch is closed. Let's see if it says eastbound, westbound, and what we got here. No, northbound, southbound, rather. I'm sorry. I-29, Cass, Clay, Buxton, speeds, not a factor. It's closed, folks. I-29 from milepost 192, rather, to 104 closed. So suffice it to say, I-29 is closed. Grand Forks all the way to the state line down here. And I-94 has been opened out here in Stutsman County, but no travel advisories are in effect for the entire area, meaning stay off the roads if you can. Amy says, I'm in St. Paul and it's raining. Won't be nice in the morning. No, and that rain is going to quickly be changing over to snow. I'm going to call this one, I think within the next hour and a half to 2 hours, particularly all in the northern metro area, I think we'll start to see that transition. Nan and Sam report heavy rain in Afton. Thank you. Thank you very much for checking in with Hutch's Weather, and I appreciate that report from the east. All right, now let's take a look at the road conditions, because what we're going to do is take you into the cameras south of Fargo. This is what, the camera's not available. Let's go up north of Fargo and see if that camera's working. Yep, here you got a look at just how nasty these roads are. And they're clear right now, which is how they should be, because they are closed. And if you get out there, you're going to get a ticket, so don't do it. Don't go by the markers, the blockades. Here we have the road crews out there working on the Castleton area here, I-94. So the I-94 corridor, they're working on it now. It looks like the wind is decreasing a little bit and the snowfall has ceased there a little bit as well, meaning there is a chance they could get some things opened back up. Going down towards Morton on the just off I-29 as you're looking at that North Dakota 13 road, this is a mess down there and the winds are just nasty. So this is solid polished roads with ice and it is closed. So you're looking at 13 that's closed in southeast North Dakota. You're looking at 11 closed in southeast North Dakota. Let's go to Foreman out here and check out what you got. Well, what you got here is some icy roads, but look at the improvement to visibility. The snowfall is dropping and reducing, and that's a good sign as we head into the overnight hours. Here at the border down here as you go south of Hankinson, and things are looking pretty tricky on the state line. So tricky indeed that, well, I got to tell you what, you can barely see. The visibility is no fun at all. That's North Dakota. Now let's dance on over to South Dakota, shall we? And I got to tell you, do not leave. Minnesota has no travel advisories. This does not happen often. No travel advisories in Minnesota too, so stand by for that. Let's go ahead and take a look at South Dakota. Anywhere you see the yellow, we have no travel advisories. It means it's best if you just stay put. This is no travel at all, and the roads are closed. So we definitely have some roads closed here in Roberts County. It says Roberts County roads closed. So I'm going to assume they are all closed in Roberts County. Here's a look at the Sisseton area camera. You can see just a coating of ice on Interstate 29 working north-south into parts of Roberts County, South Dakota. So that's what's going on there as you see the plows getting it done with the work out there in South Dakota. So South Dakota is pretty rough and tumble, and by the time you get to Watertown, what does it look like there? Let's go ahead and check this out. Serious differences, but reduced visibility, but at least you can see the road surface down there in parts of east central South Dakota. So that's a look at South Dakota. We have other areas that closed down earlier. No travel advisories up here in the Mobridge zone. A lot of snow and a lot of wind. Let's take a look in that Eureka area at what looks like there as we close out our day with what looks like a break in the sun. Look at the snow blowing over the road. So it's finally gotten cold enough for us to get blowing snow. D, thank you so very much. I'm not seeing everybody's comments yet. Once I get through this, we're going to go over some questions. So if I haven't got to you, well, I want to let you know, we're going to have time for Q&A because Hutch is here for you. Detroit, what does it look like in Detroit Lakes at 4:30? We'll get to all of those. Thank you. Please stand by because we're going to Minnesota next. So we do have some Lake Oahe area tricky travel. No travel advised in these areas as we go into District 6 and we go down towards the Pier area here. Let's see what it looks like on the west side of Pier. Oh, man, big time difference there. And we had some snow, but I can tell you what, that road condition looks a lot better in central parts of South Dakota than it does here. Minnesota, let's get to it. We got a lot to talk about here. This system is approaching the Twin Cities. A lot of people trying to do their traveling in the region. Let's go ahead and take a peek. Anywhere you see pink on this, the roads are completely covered. So we got complete coverage even in areas that are in the winter weather advisory zone. Thief River Falls, this is what it looks like on the area roads out there. They're completely covered with ice, but there's not a huge quantity of snow that has fallen in that zone. Let me get this sidebar out of the way. Now, as we go southward just a little bit, let's check out Highway 9 in Beltrami. That does look like we are seeing some pretty good coating of ice on the road surface there with snow on the top of it. So reduced visibilities. Look at that for reduced visibility, Beltrami. Yep, that's taking a shot into the snowflakes that are blowing up. All right, now as we go a little bit farther to the east, let's go out towards Foston. Now these flakes are flying, they're big, and they're reducing visibility. So travel trouble at night is going to be likely. Now, as we get out into the Bemidji zone, it looked like Bemidji is a cutoff and points south gets more snow indeed. Here's Solway on Highway 2. Visibility not too bad. Well, I'll say not too terrible, but at times it's opening up and it's really uncorking and unleashing the low visibility. Purple roads are no travel advised. So basically, once you go to Highway 10 and the Highway 10 corridor and point south, no travel advised. In fact, Highway 9 here, heading on the way up to Felton, not advised for travel. Highway 32, as you go between Ulen and Hitterdal there, yeah, sure, you betcha. It looks like that one has some tough travel all the way up to Sire. And look at this, all the way up through Monoman, and well, we got Winger up there. That road also, no travel advised. Look at that ice skating rink on the US 59 route, north-south through the Minnesota area, straight from the Detroit Lakes area. So speaking of Detroit Lakes, here's Lake Park and Highway 10, icy roads. Let's go ahead and take a look a little bit farther to the south as you get into Ottertail County. Hutch was talking last night that I thought this storm would hit the southern half of the county pretty good. And pardon me, yep, there you go. There's Motley. That's not in Ottertail County, by the way, but that's some heavy-looking slushy snow out there on the roads outside of Motley. Now let's go to Fergus Falls. Let's get you in a little bit tight here and go to the service. Oh, my goodness. This is just ridiculous. Don't go trying to drive on that nonsense. And that road is completely covered with snow, and the wind is coming through, and it's only going to get a little windier here in the Fergus Falls area. We'll talk about those wind speeds a little bit later. This is where we have the blizzard warning continue. So as we look into west central parts of Minnesota, there's a blizzard warning here, winter storm warnings elsewhere. So as we go down here towards you folks in the, pardon me, Graceville area, I need some water. That camera doesn't like me. Okay, so that camera is offline for whatever reason. It's had a rough day. How about Tenney? This is a look at US 75 near the Tenney area. That does not look very good. No travel advised in that area as well. Now, if you are traveling in and between Fargo and the cities, here's I-94, and these little purple asterisks are all crashes that they are dealing with. So we've got crashes here on I-94, mainly from Alexandria into the Twin Cities. Once you get up north here near Wadena, crash, crash, crash as we go across the region there. And as we look up towards what looks like to be the Fort Ripley Road out here, we have a number of crashes out here on Highway 371. So whether you're in Gregory, Little Falls area, remember Little Falls? We've been talking about you for a while. Let's take a look at what that highway looks like there. This is US 10 south of Little Falls. And yeah, it's greasy, it's grimy, and it's really, really slimy. All right, now as you go into Sauk, we got some crashes out there on 15 as you go across the other side there on the interstate paralleling into the Twin Cities. So Highway 15, look at this wetness out there. This is US 10 rather, as you go through toward the cities. So nothing there yet as far as the heavy snow. Now, when you go into the metro area, everything's looking pretty okie dokie here. On the south side, all wet, all rain, and temperatures are in the 40s there now. You go to the northern side of the metro area, temperatures are much, much cooler. We're starting to get that glazy look to it. Folks, that looks like some ice. So there could be some areas with some icy road conditions up here as we go through. The lines are green, meaning seasonal travel conditions are in place there right now. But that transition on the radar is to snow, and it looks like it's not too far. I think I can turn on the radar here. Let me see. I'm trying to read really tiny printing here. Weather stations with alerts, rest areas. We'll worry about the... Here's the weather radar. Okay, so weather radar showing rain showers and heavy ones at that working their way through as these temperatures are not very nice. So that's what's going on across Minnesota. For now, wet weather in the Twin Cities zone and the St. Cloud zone. It's white weather as you go up into that area just up to the north near Little Falls. And now let's do questions. Q&A time with Hutch's Weather. If you want to know what's going on in your neck of the woods, let's get back to the radar. I'll put that up behind me and you can have a peek at what we have going on. So here we go. Back to the radar. And now I'm going to try to focus on your questions. If you posted one some time ago and you're still with me, please go ahead and repost it now. I'll be watching for those as we have Hutch's Weather Radar and hutchesweather.com on in the background. Number one, nothing in Park River. So Park River has very little in the way of snow or nothing, says Dan. Thanks for your report. You know what? That's kind of the nature of the beast sometimes. And actually, if you look at this storm system right here, there is a little dry area around the north side of this low pressure system. But that said, there's these little bands. They're fairly narrow, and there are dry spots in between. Stuck on I-94 and detoured off the side of the highway due to a pileup. It's so bad. Can you let me know, Nicole, where you're at? That was 3 minutes ago. Thank you for that. We're stuck on I-94. Be safe, says Bonnie. Be safe, says Hutch. What's your travel advice for Duluth? Going to Duluth tomorrow. Well, where are you going from, Rhonda? That's a good question. Duluth. This storm is really going to dump heavy snow between here and Duluth. The I-35 corridor between the cities and Duluth will be pretty chunky. And some of the heaviest snow now is basically going through the areas that you'd be traveling from Fargo to Duluth. So keep that in mind. So stuck on I-94. Pile up, it's so bad. Thank you very much for your report. Gosh, I hope everybody's okay out there. I know that our law enforcement officers and our first responders are going to do their very best to get to you and get people out of there. It's no fun, but that's why we talk so much about these winter survival kits. It's very important that you have them. And speaking of which, in your winter survival kit, Hutch likes to put candy bars. I like to put nuts in there. High protein food that really lets your high carb type of food to kind of feed you and it sticks there for a while. That's good. You can carry it with you for some time and it lasts for a while. You need something for everybody in the car, blankets, mittens to stay warm. And you know what? If that car's engine dies in weather like this with temperatures falling, that's no fun either. So blankets aren't bad, but candles are a must in my opinion when you live in the northern plains. I'm going to go through some questions right now on the YouTube channel. Here we go. Nan and Sam report heavy rain, Afton. Raining in Spring Lake Park. Thank you for the update, Jessica. I appreciate that. Greased Monkey says, DL at 4:30 a.m. Need to get to the train station. Well, I don't know where you're coming from there, but if you're heading to the train station, Greased Monkey, there's going to be some greasy roads out there. And if you're in town, I think you're okay. So Detroit Lake's not too bad. If you're going for a drive through the county roads there, right now there's no travel advisories in effect in that area. So keep that in mind. Check hutchesweather.com right here and click on this road conditions button. I'll do that right now while I'm talking to you just to show you it's all right here and it's easy to find for you. So as we go ahead and take a look at that button, I'll click on it. You get to pick whatever state, whatever province you are in the region here, and you can look at the road reports. Turn those cameras on. That's a pro tip to see what it really looks like out there. All right, what's going on close to Wilmer? Well, let's take you there on the latest radar as we can zoom in. So here's your road reports on hutchesweather.com, and another pro tip, scroll down to the bottom of this page, right underneath the maps, you're going to see the snow forecast. So you click the play button over here. You see the triangle? Make sure you click the play button. You play that puppy, and it's going to give you that 24-hour snow forecast from one model. It's not looking at a dozen. It's not a final answer. It's a modeled snowfall, and it does show that heavier band moving out of the Southern Valley and northeast South Dakota, right west to east across Minnesota. Minneapolis on the lower side thanks to the rain and the warmer weather, but you too will see some snow. You get just north of town between Minneapolis and Duluth. This is what you'll be driving through. So if you want Wilmer, in we go. You're down over here near Hutch, Inson, and then you go over here, you got Wilmer. So there's kind of a boundary in your particular area. So lighter snow on the southern side of this and a little bit more on the northern side of this. So we're talking about snow amounts between 1 inch and 2.5 inches, maybe 3 inches of snow, 1 to 3 we'll call it, with it ramping up pretty quickly up to your north according to this model. So I think that should be good. Rain would shut that down and lower the totals, but if it switches over as it's forecast to do, then that's going to be what you will be contending with there in the Wilmer area. Watching from Vancouver Island. Wow, West Coast, good. I hope you're doing good. Thanks, Dr. Gimpy. Thank you for watching. And your weather looking pretty wet as well. As we get into the Pacific Northwest, there's some snow forecast, but whether or not you're going to get it in British Columbia where you are remains to be seen. I'm not sure exactly where, but Vancouver's looking like there's going to get some snow at elevation there, just outside. Woohoo! Thanks for checking in with Hutch's Weather. How's Pedro? Heidi? Pedro, where'd you go? Pedro's doing good. He's walking better. His leg is hurt. His wrap is off, and he is healing. Thanks for asking, and happy Thanksgiving. Forecast for the upcoming winter at the end of the week to into next week. So at the end of this week into next week, there's another system coming up on Saturday, Friday night and Saturday. There'll be another shot of snow. It looks colder, fluffier snow, and now it's back to being an impact in our area. Let's go back to the radar because I did have a radar question here. And people are asking just a little bit about what's going on. So let's get on to this. Okay, here we go. Reminding me, train station, West Coast, Pedro. What's the forecast upcoming week? Breezy Point, sloppy and white here. Thanks. Good to see you, Beaver Sticks. And thanks for joining. Hutch is the best. Thank you very much. Big thank you from Garrison, Minnesota. Thank you very, very much. Not your daddy. All right, now let's get over here. Nicole says we're stuck and we're detoured off the side. It's so bad. Be safe. I asked where you are. Stuck on I-29 by Amazon. Must be an accident. Tim and Jay, thinking about you guys, hoping you are doing okay out there. It's going to be a little while, but the good news is I think if you look at this radar, the heaviest of the snow is exiting the Fargo area right now. So if you're north of town, this band of snow is it. Then we shut it off, and all we have is a little bit of the wind and the blowing snow, but you still got to wait for people to get, managed out of that crash. So, yeah, I-29, thanks for that update. It's just not fun at all as we look across the region. Look at the rain through the Twin Cities, by the way. That's heavy rain shower activity. Thank you, Hutch from Grand Forks. Thank you, Joni, for checking in. Scrolling down, Scott says, just came back from Grand Forks to Fargo, ice-covered roads, and the cars were hitting the ditch. And that is exactly, Scott, why they have closed Interstate 29 between Grand Forks and the South Dakota line. So if you missed that, I-29 closed from Grand Forks to the South Dakota line and all the way through Roberts County, South Dakota, into South Dakota, by the way. It doesn't open up until you get down a little farther south of that. It's an ice rink out there. I-94 is closed, by the way, to Valley City at last check. We do have a snowfall report of 6 inches. Yep, we talked about that, so we'll keep you up to date with that. All right, scrolling through, Rita and Fargo, thanks for joining. Hi, thank you. Joan for watching. Sherry, thanks for the questions and the compliments. I appreciate that. Ethan says, hey, hope you had a great day, and I hope you all have a very happy Thanksgiving. Looks like Scott says it was tough going through Harwood to north of Hillsboro. So that's a alert to Tim and Jay there, what they'll be driving through. Brad in Phoenix says no one beats this kind of coverage. The Midwest Weather King, that's a big one. I appreciate that, Brad, and I appreciate you joining me. Thank you so very, very much for your support. And you know what? That pizza last night was muy mucho appreciated. Thank you so very much. And thanks for everything. Oh, goodness, folks. I got to tell you what. Here we go. Simon says, hi from Duluth. You guys in Duluth have a lot of wet weather in between you and the Twin Cities right now that's likely to be turning white. I've got a report from the Brainerd area just getting started at 1.5 inches. Now, I will point this out. You see this heavy band of moisture here? These winds are coming in from the east and it's getting tugged in. So right in this area here where the transition to snow is where we'll see that heaviest band of snow. This is that moisture train working its way in. Little drier area here kind of getting it cut off right now. And I'm sure that doesn't hurt your feelings in places like Wilmer, Morris, Benson as things continue with the blizzard warning in your area. Just getting started in Duluth here. Thank you very much, Simon, for that. My backyard in rural Buffalo says 4. What? Okay, I got to ask Heidi, is that Buffalo, North Dakota? It isn't Buffalo, South Dakota, is it? I know where that is. I've been there. Mary Smith says, well, I think it's here to stay. I guess we can't complain at all. Happy Thanksgiving. Ashley says, do you think the roads will be okay Thursday morning from Brandon, Minnesota to Grand Forks, North Dakota? Yes, I think by that time we should have much better roads and travel conditions. Decreasing wind. It's going to be cold out there, so there could be some icy spots, particularly when you're talking about Brandon and getting to the main thoroughfares there. So you got to be careful on those side roads is my point to you. Take it slow, but the weather between Wednesday and Thursday looks very quiet, giving our road crews a chance and the sun a chance to kind of get that junk off the road. Enjoyed the snow, says Ethan. Roads were nasty. Yes, indeed. Whiteout conditions, slushy. It was not fun. Indeed. Jamestown to Fargo roads were awful, very slippery. Brother coming back from taking dad home. Oh, wow. And then they closed them down. Going west wasn't bad as going east. Thanks for that, Kara. I will say that off to the west of the Jamestown area there between Valley City and Jamestown, I-94 has opened back up, but it is still no travel advised. And that just means if you don't have to drive, don't, because if you end up in the ditch, you know what happens. It could be a pileup, or it could also cause problems where they have to come rescue you instead of cleaning the roads. So please stay off the roads. 6+ inches in Lidgerwood. We had that call, Joe Adams. Thank you. And I appreciate all the pictures you share. You can upload those at hutchesweather.com, and that's an open invitation to you and your family. Thank you so much. Hutch, have a good Turkey Day weekend. Thank you, Ashley. Brenda says, hi, advise not to go if not needed. Yep, Kara, that's good advice. Thank you very much. Anthony joining, saying completely snowed in here in Cayuga, southeast North Dakota. The state that's got hit. Be safe, everyone. Happy Thanksgiving. You know, hopefully you brought the bottle, the bread and milk. And I got a comment on one of my posts that said somebody was going to be buying them some toilet paper. Not a bad thing, because we all know what that's like. You don't want to run out of the toiletries if you go through an event like this, and we all know that feeling from the COVID era. Heavy snow, mesoscale discussion coming up. Let me take you to the monitor up north. New information, breaking news right here on Hutch's Weather. Here we go. You're going to see a circle on the map here in blue, a mesoscale discussion. This is what I was just talking about. This heavy band of moisture is going to feed and fuel this snow here. There is going to be a snow band here that sets up that could be producing 2 to 3, maybe more inches of snow per hour. Let's read the experts' discussion together. Heavy snowfall, 1 to 2 inches per hour, spreads east across Minnesota to Wisconsin through the evening hours. Strong winds supporting areas of blizzard conditions. There's not a blizzard warning across the entire region, but there'll be areas of it. So keep that in mind. Just don't travel if you don't have to. Intense cyclone over the Twin Cities area. Cyclone is a low pressure center. It's a storm system. And this continues to read as we're going here that there is a support from the 500 millibar jet. What does that mean? An elevated area of gusty winds aloft above the ground. And in certain areas of a jet stream, it can enhance storms below, or it can just rip them apart. Well, in this case, it's going to add to the storm, and it's going to support a broad swath of moderate rain with heavy snowfall rates from Sisseton Hills to northeast South Dakota into west central Minnesota. This is all the discussion here. In addition, for heavy snowfall rates down here, 25 to 35 mile per hour winds at the surface on the backside of the low are supporting areas of blizzard conditions, quarter mile or less visibility. Several web cams across western Minnesota show evidence of zero visibility or very, very low. So keep that in mind. Just stay home. And this area right here, you see where this interface is? Heavy rain band getting turned over to snow, and you see the darker blues here near Page, and oh my goodness, it's just it's on for these areas to pick up some healthy snow. We are starting to see the end of the snowfall here in the FM area. And that is it. I've got 113 of you on my YouTube channel. So I'm going to ask you right now to hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. It's a pleasure to have you here. Drop a comment and let me know where you're watching from. Drop a comment and let me know what you'd like to see. Let's go ahead and take a look at a more national picture right here on the radar. We're going to bump it on over right now to Hutch's radar and take a look at what's going on nationally. Here's what's going on as we head into one of the bigger travel days of the year. Big time nothingness across the southwest and south central United States. This storm system does a curlicue called a comma-shaped cloud all the way from Minneapolis right into the New England states and down smacking into the central Gulf Coast states. Thunder and lightning, and it's a little frightening as you go through parts of Mississippi and on into Alabama and Georgia. So we do have these storms exiting Mobile, Alabama, and well, Mississippi, and heading on in towards Montgomery. They're fairly strong, and we have had some strong ones down there. In fact, we got a one with a discussion on it here heading into Mobile, 40 mile per hour wind gusts and some hail going on there. Flying across the nation, if you take a look at this right now, what you're going to notice is we have some heavy rain heading into eastern PA and possibly not far from the Philly area. We got heavy rain in New York, upstate New York, and then this is all going to change. As this moves offshore and these winds become northerly, we're going to start getting areas of lake effect snow for the forecast there. So that will, in the next 24 hours, begin impacting some travel forecasts, some areas that could be impacted. Well, let's talk about Detroit. You got the big lake on one side of you. You got the fetch that's going to pick up some lake effect snow bands in Michigan. The UP is getting affected now, and that's going to continue overnight with blizzard conditions taking hold there as this storm system gets chilled as this cold air makes its way in. Same thing goes for northern Wisconsin. So travel from Green Bay and in that area could be compromised. That system will move out to the north and east, not impacting too much with snowfall amounts down towards Green Bay or Chicago the way it looks right now. The Pacific Northwest is the other area of concern as a system works its way on from the Pacific Ocean. Elevated terrain outside of places like Seattle as we look into the Snoqualmie Pass area, Yakima, these areas picking up some snow, the valley not so much, but as you get up into the elevated terrain, we got wet weather working its way through Portland, and we got it also all the way up towards Seattle, Tacoma. And that is a look at what's going on nationwide. That is a look at my update right now. I will have an update a little bit later. Are they going to call off schools in the morning? Do I know? Heidi, nope. I'll leave that up to the administrators, but I will say this, road conditions should improve. And we should be talking about some improvement as well with regards to our wind and conditions in North Dakota. It will still be quite breezy first thing in the morning. And if you're in a community in central Minnesota that's going to get another 6 to 10 inches of snow, I think that's the area where the risk for any school cancellations or events could be kind of compromised as well. Let's say Strum, Wisconsin. Thanks for watching, Flying Lizards. Flying Lizards, that's a cute one. I love it. And watching from Odessa, Big Stone Country. That's nasty out there. Yeah, I think I appreciate that. R.O. Brokow. Thank you very much. Rob, is it Rakow? I'm sorry. I'm not going to even try. My eyes are crossed after looking at the computer all day. After we clean up from this, are we expecting to do this over again this weekend? Let's show you that. Let's take a look at the European model first, and then we'll take a look at what this is showing for the Friday night, Saturday system. So this one's out of here. You're already asking about the next one, and I will show you what the model's showing. The snow system starts out in Montana. Here's the low pressure center moving out of the Rockies in Wyoming. There's a warm front here that's going to kick off a band of snow that will push through the southern reaches of North Dakota. Not nearly as strong. This system looks to impact places like Watertown, Huron, and on down in towards everybody's favorite Yankton down here as we head into Sioux Falls and Sioux City, Iowa. Northern Iowa, southern Minnesota will feel the impacts of this with wind and snow on Saturday night. It's moving off not far from the cities, but Rochester, you'll have a chance. As well as your neighbors down in Mason City, Iowa, and central parts of Wisconsin here, folks. So Madison and points south towards Beloit, chances of some heavy snow heading down into Illinois with that system, the way the model looks now. So for our area, North Dakota, mainly far south, light snow. We could see some heavier snow in South Dakota. The I-29 corridor could be compromised, as could the highway or Interstate 90 corridor, once again, with some heavier snow. And then Iowa and Wisconsin, particularly the southern half of your state, could be the big winners there. All right, drop a super chat so Hutch can get a tank of gas for his snowblower. That I appreciate. Yeah, you know what? I did start that puppy up yesterday and tried my goodness to make sure it would ward off the storm. And for Fargo, we could have seen more snow. I measured 4.5 inches here in the backyard in numerous places, but with all the wind, tons of drifting. I've got places that are completely empty. A measurement from you is better than no measurement from you. What I suggest is you take 6, 8 measurements around the area and get away from the buildings and the drifts if you can, and just get a good average. Take the 8 or 5 or 4 readings and divide by that number, and then that's your average snowfall, and that's better than not having anything from you. So 4.5 is what I measured here in the FM area, southern metro part of Fargo. The snow is wrapping out of here. You looked at the storm system, and I am checking out to check out maybe a burrito or something like that, or maybe a candy bar, since I'm not stuck in my car. If you're watching in the mobile device on your vehicles, our hearts are with you guys. Our prayers for your safety are with you. You got to just sit this one out. And as soon as the accidents and crashes start getting cleared, hopefully they can either get to you or you can get out before you run out of gas yourself. So that's the danger with storm systems like this. That's the danger. All right, now a look at what do we got here? Oh, 1 inch of snow from Red Elm in South Dakota. All right, that's it. Getting reports in left and right, but we're going to call that good. Now, we did go over the road reports. Let me just make sure with you here that nothing else has changed in North Dakota. I-29 closed from Grand Forks to the South Dakota border. I-94 closed now, is that all the way to Valley City? It was before, and it still is. So the I-94 corridor between Valley City and Fargo is closed. I-94 is closed down to the South Dakota line and beyond. We do have a closure of Highway 13 and Highway 11 in southeast North Dakota, basically from the Sargent County area right through the Richland County area, as the roads there are junk and the wind is a cracking and a lacking through that area. Again, we have no travel advisories across southeast North Dakota and into South Dakota. Travel alerts still up in the oil patch where things are settling down. But out in Minot, I saw a number of pictures from our local law enforcement areas rescuing people out of the ditch. This is very icy here on US 83, north-south between Minot and Bismarck. If you look at Highway 2 to the west of the Minot area, it's still very icy there as we're looking at these photos from the west. Dickinson, well, not as much snow, but still some wintry conditions for you as well. And the last check at Minnesota roads, just to update you while we can to make sure, because these changes have been happening fast and furiously. So let's go ahead and take a look at this. Anywhere you see pink roads are completely covered roads. This extends from northwest Minnesota. Very little snow at all, by the way, Kittson County and Roseau County, but you get down into Marshall County, Minnesota, and point south, it starts getting very icy. So icy and snowy roads through Thief River Falls, Red Lake Falls, all the way straight down here where you see the purple ones. No travel is advised. That includes Interstate 94 from Fargo. And let's get you a town name where the no travel advisory is shut off. In and around, it looks like Osaka. Yeah, that's it. West Union, that area. That's where that no travel advisory extends, is in that general area. All roads, no travel advised in those areas. So keep that in mind. We still have heavy rain in the Twin Cities that should be transitioning to snow right now. Is it really happening? Let's see if it's happening yet. Let's go to 35 north of Dodge. Dodge being the Twin Cities. I can confirm as a meteorologist who did study precipitation that looks like frozen precipitation of the snow variety there. So a few miles north of town as we get into the Mission Creek area, that is snow. Let's go check out a little area here. Let's go up by Harris. Let's see if that's snowflakes. That's wet. I'm not seeing snowflakes flying through those camera lenses quite yet. So it does look like Spring Lake, not seeing the snow quite yet, still raining, but if you get up a little bit north, we got some snowflakes flying. What are we looking like as we go in towards you folks here in and around, well, let's see, I'm having a tough time reading that. Elk River. So Elk River out there, wet, a little bit white, maybe some snow mixing in, but that snow is on its way, and it's making its way towards you with heavy rain that will be transitioning to snow for areas in mainly the northern metro of the Twin Cities. I'm meteorologist Hutch Johnson. You all are the very best. Persephone Pepper, thank you for watching. Thanks for tagging a friend. Thanks for tagging a friend. Brenda and Rita as well. Thank you. Cool hairdo, Hutch. I like it. I'll tell you what, it was wind blown because I was out shoveling some snow. 4 inches in Little Falls, says Survival Railways. Thank you very much. With trees breaking and the power is flickering. Oh no, let's go to Hutch's weather and check out some power outages here. And let's just do that together right now. So power outages, that's a good point. Very heavy and wet and icing potential with this system. And as we take a look at the region, nation, I'm not seeing any highlights in our particular area for the power to be out. So that's a good sign. As we go into Minnesota here, let's let it zoom in. There is some outages, Traverse County, over 1,000 customers without power here. As you get into Wilkin County, there's a few customers without power, about 1,600 customers tracked, and about 422 are without power. So flickering power definitely in the blizzard area out there. Thank you for bringing up the power outage, and thank you for your report. I have not been checking on that as often as I probably should have. So that is a look at those power outages on the map as we speak. So thank you so very, very much. I appreciate you clearing up my morning. School cancellations in Lakes Country. Yes, clearing up my morning, Chris. School cancellations and Lakes Country. You're going to have to wait to find out more information on cancellations of school. Usually they make those calls as we get closer to daybreak. Right now, we got no travel advisories across most of western Minnesota, particularly in Lakes Country right here where you see these counties highlighted, Otter Tail County and Southern Becker County. So keep in mind that there could be some cancellations. I do not have any further information on that for tomorrow yet, but suffice it to say, you will hear about it on your local media. All right, that's it. Thank you very much. Thank you for your input. You all are the very best, and I'll check back a little bit later. But until then, let's see if I can tantalize you with some music from the Hutch Singers.
This Thanksgiving, if the family starts arguing about who ruined the stuffing, just quietly grab the remote, turn on Hutch's weather, and say, shh, I need to hear this part. I'll give you 90 seconds of peace. Maybe more if there's a storm. From all of us at Hutch's Weather, happy Thanksgiving and good luck around that table.